Well, hey guys, good Sunday to you. I hope you're doing well. We've got a really active day again today, especially across the east. Some severe weather expected from Maine all the way down into the Carolinas, and around these areas too, we'll see some strong storms, plus across the northern plains back into the west. The tornado risk is there across the northeast, so we're going to dig into that too. Plus, we are looking at a monster. Okay, I'm not trying to hype this up, but I'm telling you what, guys, this is a strong storm. This is Hurricane Beryl, expected to barrel, if you will, to the west over the next 24 to 48 hours. It's expected to become a Category 4 hurricane, an extremely dangerous one at that, as it approaches the Windward Islands. That's right in here as we head into early Monday. They're going to get some big winds, some rain, and then after that, where does it go? That is the question. And one thing I want to point out while we're looking at this, back to the east of this area right in here has to be monitored over the next 24 to 48 hours as tropical development continues to increase, or at least the likelihood of something happening there. Here's the latest update on Beryl this morning, continuing again, moving off to the west, almost maybe a bit of a northwest track at this point. That's what's expected. We've got these hurricane warnings up here for the islands, and then once it moves through here, the bad thing is it's expected to be a major hurricane, a Category 4. Does it get stronger as it moves into the Caribbean? Potentially. It looks like it's going to stay south of Puerto Rico and Haiti and the Dominican Republic, but Jamaica, and I'll be honest with you, once you get really past, I think right in here, there's some question, even outside this cone, do we see more of a track like this? So Florida, don't let your guard down just yet. I think it's really going to go west of you, though. I think if you're going to be on alert, I would watch this here from really Mexico all the way up into Texas, Louisiana, as far east potentially as the panhandle of Florida. Okay? And here's why. Again, the risk isn't super high, but some of the spaghetti plots over the last 24 hours have been pretty persistent of taking Beryl this way. Some of the ensembles from overnight, look at this, kind of all over the place. So I think that's why once you get past about here, there's just a lot of question as to where this storm ends up going. So that is something to be watching. And again, out to the east of that, you've got this area here that has a 40% chance of development and an even greater likelihood over the next 7 days as this follows Beryl. And the problem is the upper level pattern is going to start to change too across the United States. High pressure at the surface is going to be moving east. That's going to keep us dry here into the northeast, but we've got our strong Azores high here. These two are going to kind of merge, if you will. This high kind of protecting North America, pushing Beryl more south, closer to the Yucatan. At least that's what some of the operational models are saying. But look what happens. We lose our high here by the end of the week. I don't like that because that opens the door to potential north movement of these tropical systems as they move to the west. So I'm going to stop it there. Again, I think by next weekend, there's still a lot of questions. I think this will change. Something that you'll want to monitor, though, if you are in the Gulf. If you like this content, I hope you'll come back and subscribe because I'll be tracking this week. Let's talk about the severe weather today. Again, across the Northeast, some of these could produce a few tornadoes. It's not going to be a widespread tornado outbreak, but the potential is there, and I always want to throw that out there. The Storm Prediction Center putting that out too. And then heading into tomorrow, those storms across the west start to shift east. Now we're looking at the northern plains here, maybe a few tornadoes from Nebraska up into the Dakotas and as far west as Wyoming, maybe as far east as northwest Missouri and parts of Iowa. Again, the strongest jet stream here to the north into parts of the Northeast and New England. That's where we're going to see the strongest severe weather heading into the afternoon. Timing some of this out. Really, the biggest storms will start to fire up once we move into the afternoon. So Pennsylvania, I think southeast PA into parts of southern New England, even parts of New York, we'll see these storms back across western New York, western PA, everything here now to your east. Across parts of Virginia, we will see these storms, West Virginia too. Some much needed rain falling overnight in some of these areas. Not everyone is seeing the rain, but the good news is there is a chance for more rain. Although we don't like to see the severe weather at this point, we'll take about just anything we can get in these areas where it is extremely dry. Some places haven't seen rain in a month or more. So corn crops at risk. The grass is dying in many areas, so rain is definitely needed as agriculture takes a hit here across parts of the mid-Atlantic and the southeast. That front pushes east. It's off the coast now as we move into Monday. So if you're headed to the beaches here along the southeast coast this week, it looks kind of wet heading into Monday. That starts to push offshore, though, and we do certainly dry out now here across interior areas. We're watching our next system moving through the Great Lakes by Tuesday. That'll start to bring rain back into places like Michigan, also into Wisconsin. As we head into Monday across the Central Plains states, again, some stronger storms possible today. We kind of skipped through that here. Certainly not a major severe weather event, but Monday's looking pretty interesting, especially across Nebraska and the Dakotas heading into the afternoon. So these storms will definitely need to be watched, maybe even as far south as Kansas, and then those continue to roll on through the overnight, and they move east with temperatures behind our system that's moving through the east, by the way, much cooler. We're back into the 80s and 70s. Some places may not get out of the 60s, especially the further north you go. But tomorrow, look at the heat. It's moving back north. We're back into the triple-digit heat from Kansas. I would argue maybe even parts of southern Nebraska. So again, remember, you're going to have your storms coming through here into the afternoon. So now you've got that fuel for those storms with that upper-level energy moving through. And then across the west, I'm skipping forward a couple of days because that heat now starting to build north as the Pacific Northwest looks to heat up. If you're looking for rain over the next 7 days, here's a quick look at that. We'll go pretty quickly here. There's that next system moving through the Great Lakes. That'll bring some rain here. And then our rain corridor kind of sets up like this, right? We've got high pressure sort of here at the surface and everything going kind of up and over that or around that high. That high shifts off to the east. And again, as I mentioned, that opens the door. There's what's probably going to be Beryl showing up. And here is our next system starting to move into the Caribbean as well. Where do these go? At this point, it's a toss-up, but it's definitely worth monitoring. I'm just going to show you the operational GFS because you can see they're trying to bring them into the Gulf. Does that put us in a safe zone into the southeast coast? I don't think so, especially on that second one. I think it needs watch because all it takes is a shift, and now you're looking at a southeast landfall. We're still several days out on this, guys. Again, I'll be tracking it, and I hope you have a great Sunday wherever you are. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time right here.